So this is another instance of a friend, not a direct relative, contacting me to give a message. So I had mentioned in another video that my friend's father had passed suddenly, and I asked for, spirit guides, guardian angels, please make sure he crosses over, and then called out his mother's name, who had passed back in high school. And as soon as I called her name, the white light came down, I start sobbing, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, I don't know if she's become a spirit guide for me, but she's come to me several times. The most profoundly was an incident. This was after his passing, but I was literally standing in my kitchen. I don't remember if I was checking the phone, doing something, checking notes, and bam, right out of me, her face, call him now, call him now, call him now, call him now, but saying his name. I'm like, it's like, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I picked up the phone and called him right then and there. And so I move over to the couch, sitting down in front of the coffee table, and he picks up. He's driving back from an appointment somewhere. And I said, all right, your mother just appeared to me and said, call him now, call him now, call him now. And I said, I don't know why. And then while I'm saying this, I see his grandmother's face appear, who I did know briefly in high school. She appears, and she always wore a wig in her older years, and she had the wig on, looked exactly as I remembered her, very sweet smile, and head's tilted a little bit. She's just sitting there smiling at me. And I'm like, okay, your grandmother just appeared, and she's smiling at me. And then another face appeared to me, and it's kind of bald on top, ring of hair around it, looked a little bit younger, and I thought it was his grandfather. In high school, he took us fishing once. Thought maybe his grandfather, so I'm like, okay, someone else is here. I think it's your grandfather, but he looks younger. And then I heard a name. And so I said, oh, I just heard the name blank. And so he says, oh, that's my uncle. I said, well, is the last time I knew his uncle was alive. I said, well, is your uncle still here? It's like, oh, no, he passed a few years ago. I said, well, they're both sitting here staring at me and smiling. And then the thought popped into my head, maybe it's his aunt, his mother's sister. I said, so I named her. I said, maybe the message is about her. Is she fine? Did she just pass over? Is something going on here? But they're both smiling at me. I don't know what to make of this. And so he says, no, she actually just had surgery for breast cancer yesterday. And we weren't sure she was going to pull through, or there was some complication involved. And so I said, well, they're smiling at me, so that either means they're waiting for her or that things are going to be all right. But in any case, your mother appeared and yelled at me and said, I need to give you this message. So apparently you need to call your aunt and tell her that her mother's looking out for her and her husband is looking out for her. So I'm hoping and praying that this means that she's going to be all right. So because of logistical issues, some conflict going on, it took him some time to get the message to her, but I think it was received. And as far as I know, she's doing fine right now. So, yeah, once you have an in, they come back and they're gonna ask you for favors. So, I find myself being a conduit to many a friend, not just myself and my family members. So, but it's nice to know that she's around, and I do feel her around as well. So, comforting, but at the same time, a little bit impatient sometimes.